Okay, so let's try that again. And I know this camera's not that good, so we'll try to get a different camera here. But just want to talk a few minutes about the general consensus of small business in America. From the government's own numbers, we produce about 54% of U.S. jobs in this country. Yet we are forgotten about. Take these glasses off. We're forgotten about by this administration. I know he says that business he's doing more for and this and that. That's only for large businesses. We, as small business owners, once again, are forgotten about. The last administration, at least they had the balls to say that they weren't going to do anything for us. This administration says that they that things are changing, jobs are coming, this and that. Well, they're not coming to small business because we as small business owners still can't get business loans. The House, haven't heard the last of the vote on the reversal or withdrawal of large portions of the Dodd-Frank bill that the last administration pushed through. Um, Even if that is pushed through, have no clue it's going to make a bit of difference whatsoever to actual small business owners. Um, the SBA, you say? No, SBA is not. They should really change their name to the MBA, the Medium Business Association Administration, because that's really all who they help. If you go onto the SBA's website and you look up, there's a link on there that says something about what do we consider a small business. It has multiple areas of industries, and one of those industries is the mining industry. That's right, companies that mine for minerals is considered a small business and can bring in excess of $35 million a year. Small businesses are also considered businesses that have government attachments, that have government contracts that are making 15 and 20 and $25 million a year. That's what they consider a small business. So that's not a small business. The SBA doesn't. I signed up when I first got in business. April 1st makes 10 years I've been in business. I signed up for the SBA when I first started. They've done absolutely nothing for me, nothing whatsoever. There is another side of it called SCORE, which is a government organization around the U.S. that has, I guess you could call them mentors, but realistically, they are business owners that have retired that probably had some government background, that have pieces of paper that they just keep out, handed them to you, even though they're 5 or 6 or 7 years old. I went and saw a representative at the SCORE in Austin. Very nice man, but had no clue whatsoever how businesses were operating in 2018. Just not a clue. Um, Banks with the Dodd-Frank, a bank at this point cannot and will not lend to a small business unless, okay, say you wanted a $100,000 loan. The banks, the only way they can do it for you is if you have $100,000 in it's $100,000 sitting in the bank to cover that $100,000 loan. They realistically don't use collateral much anymore because you can sell it for what it is worth. I had a banker tell me off the record that government won't allow them to lend to small businesses unless they have that same amount of cash backing it up. Uh, I said, hey, well, I want to buy equipment. I want to buy a service van with all this equipment in it, and there's collateral. He said, no, because if we go to resell that a month later, we're not going to get half of what we loaned you the money for, and we just can't do it. So it's not happening for small business. We're going to sit and wait and see if the House passes the retraction of a large portion of Dodd-Frank, and then it's got to go back to the Senate for ratification, and then the president can sign it in. But again, I don't think it's going to do a single thing for us actual small business owners. I think it'll probably help medium to large businesses. Um, it's not helping us. It's aggravating. It's depressing, but we small business owners continue to work and try to make more money, so that we can hire more people, so we can put more money aside. But 54% employment in the U.S. produced by the small businesses. You think the government would have vested interest other than just hiring people and putting them to work in their own administration to make the money, where the small businesses will get a penny of it. So my thoughts. What about what's your thoughts? Do you have any ideas beyond going to large banks? Done it. Medium banks? Done it. Small banks? Done it. Micro lenders? Done it. Angel lenders? Done it. Yeah, I have ran the gambit of ways that you're supposed to be able to get funding. Venture capitalist. Oh yes, let's go over some venture capitalist. Venture capitalists typically will only put money out for tech industries, and the reason being is the tech industries, hashtag startups. Hate that phrase, hashtag startup. They typically get bought out by larger businesses, Google, whatever, Apple, Google, and when they get bought out, they go for big chunk of change. When you look at Google's money flow when they buy businesses, they buy them $10, $15 and it's something that they probably only have 4 or 5 employees in it, and so it was a huge chunk of change going to those business owners and those investors in that. The downside of it, which is horrible, but most people have no clue, that a venture capitalist, the money that they put out to these hashtag startups, on average, only produce 20% return on investment. So 8 out of 10 businesses that they loan money to never pay them back. Hell of a percentage. But they are gambling on the fact that if that 20% does pay itself back, it pays back in a larger amount in which they initially loaned, so they get their money back. They typically, from the venture capitalists that I've spoke with, they don't want to deal with existing businesses. They don't care how long you've been in business. Myself, April 1, 10 years, didn't take a penny from a bank. My books have always been even and clean. I only spend what I have to spend because there's not a cash cow of money to just spend it on this and spend it on that. So an actual small business budget, unlike our government that just spends and spends and spends, they don't give a crap. There's no budget. They just keep spending. If they're given $500 million on a budget, they're going to spend $650 million so that the next year they can get $750 million. No longer are the days of government given a specific amount of money on a budget for the year and they spend less than that. They don't care anymore. Then they can't hire more people, then they can't spend more, then the boss can't get more money on his pay raises and such. We small business owners, we can't do that. We don't have that ability. And that's why a lot of small businesses go out of business. But those of us like myself, 10 years, you would think that venture capitalists or banks would actually look at you and say, "Hey, weather the storm. Let's do this." This doesn't happen, and all those people that think it's super easy to be in business and you should be making serious money. No, you pay your bills, you pay your salaries to yourself and to your employees, and there's not a whole lot left over after that. And it should be, but it's not. So, what are your thoughts? What are your theories? What's worked for your button and share, please. Have a great day.